Good afternoon, Corinne. How are you?
Hello, Danny. I'm fine. And you? I'm a bit busy.
Oh, yes, I can imagine. I'm a bit tired, to be honest, but otherwise, I'm doing very well, thank you. So, for the past couple weeks, we've been focusing on presentations because you had a big one you needed to give at work this week. How did it go?
It was good. I was, you understand, I was very nervous, but it was good. It was very useful, the preparation we did together.
Mhm.
So it was good, but I
I
was very nervous.
ah, I can imagine. So, I'm glad to hear that all your hard work paid off and it's done. But as a recap of our last lesson last week, we focused on expressions for presentations. Could you give me an example of how you can focus or emphasize a topic during a presentation?
Uh, yes.
Mhm.
Uh, in fact, I used one of the expression we worked together. It was I'd like to stress. Uh, Maybe it's because I was nervous with the presentation, but this expression I remember easily.
Ah, yes, I
so
can
um,
imagine. Ah, that's excellent. It's every teacher's dream come true to know that the students use the work that we did in class in actual workplace scenario. So, congratulations. I'm glad to hear it. So, we're finished with presentations, and now we're going to focus on meetings. The objective for today's session will be to focus on how to start a meeting. We will concentrate on the application of the expressions and the vocabulary you learned in your class preparation on our platform. And we'll apply it to professional setting that you would use at work through role plays. So speaking of which, did you have a moment to do the preparation for class this week?
yes, I did my preparation.
Right.
I have a question. I had a problem in one of the exercise.
Okay, let me pull.
There were some blanks. Uh, I forgot where it was. It was in my notes. It's slide 3.
Slide three. One,
Yeah,
two, three. Excellent.
slide 3. I had a problem. So let me see. I think it was yes. It's question 5. I wrote the expression. I'm afraid. For me, it's a bit strange. I'm not sure. I understand the sense of. For me, I'm afraid it's when I see a film, a horrible film, or something like that. Here, it's a bit strange.
I understand why you're a little confused on that because, yes, you say I'm afraid when you see a monster or you see a horror film like Psycho with a killer. But in a professional sense and in a formal sense, we use I'm afraid to diplomatically say I disagree
Mhm.
or no. So, can you try to think of a sentence where you could use I am afraid?
Yes, maybe I can say, for example, I'm afraid I can't go to the meeting, maybe, or if I disagree, I could say, I'm sorry. No, I'm afraid it's a it's not a good idea, maybe something
Perfect.
like that.
That's exactly it. That's perfect. Yes, because when you say to your boss, I don't think your idea is good, it could be a bit strong and taken the wrong
Mhm.
way. But if you say, I'm afraid I don't think your idea is good, it's more diplomatic. So, perfect examples. All
Oh,
right.
thank you.
So, as far as other phrases, what can you say when you introduce a colleague at a meeting?
When I introduce a colleague at a meeting, I can say maybe something like, I'd like to introduce. No, I introduced. Please let me introduce Philip. Maybe something like that. I'm not
Excellent.
sure.
Yes. You could say, I would like to introduce Philip, but it's important that you continue on and state the role or position and why they're there. So, for example, I would like to introduce Philip. He's the director of marketing, and today he's going to talk about our new website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Excellent. Do you have any other questions about these expressions?
No, it's good. I understand.
Excellent. So let's focus on our role play. Yes?
Okay.
Great. Okay, can you see the PowerPoint slide?
Yes, I can see.
Perfect. All right, so activity 2, getting started. Let's focus on scenario A.
Okay. Okay. So I have to follow. Okay, I have to follow the instructions. Okay. So maybe I would say something like, hello, everyone. Today, we are going to discuss the review of the last advertising campaign. I'd like introduce to Maya Keller, Tim Smith. I'm afraid he's ill, so he cannot come.
Okay.
It's not very
Overall,
good.
not bad, but there are a couple of small corrections. Here, let me pull up the whiteboard. So when we talk about Maya Keller, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention her role. Who is Maya Keller?
She's in charge. She's in charge for advertising.
Okay, Maya Keller is in charge of advertising.
Okay.
Yes.
I write.
Yeah, you want to use of, not for. However, if you want to do for, you could say that Maya Keller is responsible for advertising. For advertising.
Okay. Is that possible to say in charge for?
No.
It's in charge of.
Exactly.
And it's not possible to say responsible of advertising.
She's responsible for advertising.
Okay.
The joys of prepositions, I know.
Yes, it's there's no rule for that. It's complicated. Complicated. It's
yes, it is complicated. It is
complicated.
Excellent, excellent. And then when you talked about how Tim Smith is sick, what you want to do is you want to put in front, I'm afraid Tim Smith will not come because he's ill. Because if you say, Tim Smith, I'm afraid he will not come because he's ill, it sounds like you're scared. Where you say it at the beginning, it's more diplomatic, like unfortunately.
Okay. I'm afraid it was at the beginning of the phrase.
That is correct. At the beginning of the sentence.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So very good. Now let's continue on to role play B.